Rosie, hi. Such a pleasure to have you here with us. Difficult film to describe to people, but give us your best shot. What can people expect going into Harvard?
Human nature out of the modern world. Who are we when you take all the distractions away from us, when you just put a group of people in a sort of medieval town where there is nothing but mud and rain and sun and each other?
And when you first read this script, what was your first thought? And what do you think really sets apart Athena as a filmmaker?
She's incredibly intuitive. She's very emotionally driven, is a little bit magic, obviously, and she encourages us to be wild and weird and wonderful, but she knows exactly what she wants, and as an actor, that's a really exciting place to be.
There's something about the film, I mean, you're definitely in medieval times, you're definitely somewhere, in the north of the UK, but it's sort of a bit timeless and a bit like non-specific.
Yeah.
What do you think the effect of that is? It kind of puts you in a maybe slightly surreal space.
I think I hope it means that people will see themselves in it. Whereas if you put it in a very specific context, it might feel a bit far away from us. But I think what we're trying to do is no. This is all of us. This is everyone. This is human nature.
And it feels very visceral. Like you feel you are right there in the mud with the characters. It sort of captures both the joy of being there at golden hour, but the sort of brutality of this way of life at the same time. What was it like in terms of shooting the film in that respect?
It was a crazy shoot. The weather was irrelevant to us. So like if it was raining, we were out getting wet. If it was sunny all day, we were out there. We didn't have any trailers. We all were in most of the scenes together. Like whether you were in the scene or not, you were always like on set somewhere. So it was a very much a community connected to the earth kind of shoot.
What about your character? I mean, this is obviously an incredibly patriarchal, like violent society, but she's got so much sort of behind her. She's quite fierce in a way. How did you find her and how did you want to play her?
I mean, I'm always excited by women who want to fight and break against certain boundaries. And I think the thing with Kitty is that she's trapped by this world, which we are all, aren't we all, by the patriarchy in so many ways. So she has to play the game to like find her way out. But there's this deep sense of wanting to be free. And that's exciting to me.
And what about working with Caleb? Because their sort of relationship is a slightly odd one. There's obviously kind of romance and love there, but it's not sort of a straightforward one either.
Yeah, I think she loves him. Maybe if we were to like make it as basic as simple as possible, she's in love with him and he loves her but not in love with her. That's quite a nuanced experience, and actually what I love about Kitty is that she's brave enough to just love him, whereas I think sometimes we don't have the courage to be as vulnerable as that, even if we know it's not going to be reciprocated. Whereas Kitty knows that he doesn't love her back, but she's like goes in and wears it with her full chest, and I love that.
And even his character, well, it's like, are we supposed to sort of empathize with him? Whose side is he really on? I think that is kind of interesting to place characters, not necessarily the clear-cut sort of hero and villain. And I think that's something interesting the film does.
I think an anti-hero is always quite enticing. And I think we're sort of, if we look at cinema now, that's kind of what, as humans, we're kind of more attracted to, because we don't want to be looking at these unrealistic expectations of behavior. We want to be reminded that we're all human and we're all trying our best, but we're going to get it wrong sometimes. And I think people are craving that more.
And even though there are some sort of quite sobering, violent moments, there's also a lot of dark comedy. I mean, you think of this scene with the kids' heads are going against the rocks. Do you think there's something special about the way that the film's tone is in that way?
I think that's Athena. I think that little hint of darkness that's her uniqueness, and I guess there is humor even in the darkest moments, and I think if you're laughing at something with kindness, anything can be funny.
And of course, watching the film, you can sort of be transported to this completely other time and place and sort of just experience it. But you can also come out with questions about, the onset of capitalism, about the patriarchal forces in society that are very much relevant today. So what do you think some of those questions might be that people come out the cinema with?
I think it will depend on your own personal life experience, and I guess it will hit different people in different ways, and that's exactly what film should do. It's always a very personal thing that you're sitting down to watch, and you can read reviews and hear what other people say, but if you're just regurgitating information, you're not actually going to know how you feel about it. So some people might pick up on the relationship, some people might pick up on the people being displaced, and that might be something that rings true to them. But I think all of it is relevant, all of it is important, and it should be an individual watching experience.
What does it mean to you to have the film here at London Film Festival? And you seem to make so consistently amazing career choices, done so many interesting things. Blue Jean, obviously, one of the ones that I think, has really hit home with people. So how do you make your next steps?
Be brave. I'm trying to be brave. And always pick stuff that I have a connection to, but that's scary because then you have to say no along the way to some amazing things. But if it's not right for you, then it's not right for you. And I'm trying to be really bold in my choices in that way.
Amazing. Thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on the film. Enjoy the night. Thank you.